Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another vlog. Let's outline a book together today. I'm standing over here by the window for the lighting. Also, Dean is here. We're gonna go grab a cup of coffee before we get started. I'm excited. I'm gonna be outlining my book today. I figured I would take you guys along with me. I get a lot of questions on how to outline and stuff like that. So we will go over all of that and everything that you can expect from this vlog in just a little bit. But first we're gonna go get a cup of coffee. So this video should also be exciting because I'm outlining the sequel to Project Z, so I'm finally, inevitably, gonna have to give you some details about the first book in this video, if you're curious.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. How can I get started for you?
Hi, I just need to pick up a mobile order for Pam or Katie. We got the big one today. I am ready. I don't even think I've had one of these since college. So where to start? Lots to discuss before we get started. First of all, Campfire Pro is sponsoring today's video, so thank you so much to them. I'm actually going to be using their software as we're outlining today. So yeah, they're a writing software that helps you plan out, map out all of the different pieces of your story, and I think it's gonna be super helpful for me today. I'm going to be outlining the second book in my series. The first book is called Project Z, and it's sort of college-aged version of Xenon, the Disney movies, and then also sort of like the Contagion movie and maybe like some World War Z in there? I don't know. But anyway, one of you suggested I needed to call the sequel the Zequel because of that. So that will probably be what I refer to it as today. Campfire Pro is awesome. Not gonna lie, I cheated and I've kind of been playing around with it a little bit before this video. I wanted to familiarize myself with it before we did this so I could not have to cut as much out in editing while I figured it out. So yeah, it's a writing software. It's $49.99 one-time purchase for the software, and then if you also want to get the world building pack, if you're writing like fantasy or something, that's an additional $24.99. It's a one-time purchase, it's not a subscription, and we're gonna give it a whirl today and see how it goes. I think this will be really helpful for me because, like I said, I'm writing a sequel and it's also a sci-fi, so there's a lot of things for me to remember, locations, a lot of characters, a lot of storylines and details and stuff that I need to remember from the first book. Let's set you up so that window isn't blinding you back there. I don't think that helped at all. I think what we're gonna do is switch back and forth between this and a screen record so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I did go in and create a couple of things before making this video because I figured it would be tedious for me to create like every little thing while you were watching, but I'll show you what I've done so far before we move on to the next part in this process. I guess I should also say, sorry, my computer's like freaking out. Outlining. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. I've gotten this question a lot about like how do you outline a book and things like that. I've talked about this in writing videos before. Everybody's process is different. If you found something that works for you, stick with that. It's working for you. If you haven't found something that works for you, maybe try what I do today and see if it helps you. I switch back and forth. Half of my stuff I outline, half of it I don't. When I do outline, I tend to use the Save the Cat beat sheet. Do I have that book around here somewhere? Aha! Save the Cat beat sheet. I have the screenwriting one. There's one specifically for novel writing. I don't think they're that different. And then also something I like to use is, if you know Kat here on BookTube, Katesbookdate, she has her whole outlining method of 27 chapters, which sort of follows a similar path as the Save the Cat beat sheet. So I actually have a document saved on my computer that has both of those sort of outlining methods, and I rarely use them ahead of time when I'm outlining a book. But oftentimes when I finish writing a rough draft or a first or second draft of a book, I will compare what I have to those beat sheets to see if it lines up with that. And every single time it's lined up perfectly with that outline without purposely trying to outline it that way. I've just come to the conclusion, if you have studied story a lot, if you've written a lot, if you've read a lot, you develop these instincts for storytelling even if you don't realize that you do. So with all of that said, I have a brainstorming sheet where I've just been brainstorming plot points and things I know I want to happen in this book, but I haven't put it in any order or figured out half of the book honestly at this point. So my plan is to use this software, that brainstorming sheet, and then those beat sheets to hopefully come up with an outline for the sequel, because if you've been staying caught up in my vlogs, you know I'm hoping to write the rough draft of this sequel next month in April for Camp NaNoWriMo. And because I'm impatient and I get really excited about things, I might even start it this month and then finish it for Camp NaNoWriMo So having this outline done will be super, super helpful. Let me show you what I have so far. I first started out with my characters. You'll see I've made a whole list of all of them over here and I've grouped together some. I didn't even realize I had this many characters until I started making this list. So I actually think this is gonna be super helpful. Lena is one of my main characters, so she'll be a big focus for today. Underneath each family, I have put the ones that are kind of related to them. Not related as in like family, but like their storylines. I should probably specify I have two main characters whose point of views we follow. And I guess I'll take you over to World so you can see some of the locations in the story. We have Station 2, which is a space station, and we have Earth. So one of my main characters is on Station 2 and one of my main characters is on Earth. So that's what I mean when the characters are related to them. That means they're either in space or they're on Earth. Let's go back to characters. So yeah, I started organizing them already by putting them into these little groups. So we have the Anders family, Brandon Simmons, Stanley, Commander Dunn, Maxine, which is funny because that's my cat's name, but I wrote this book before I even got the cat, so that's not related. Sorsha, and then we have the Malachi family. These guys are on Earth, and Austin here is my second main character. And so then we have her family, and Austin was actually adopted. So this folder I haven't started filling out yet. This is her biological family. They're mentioned in the first book, but we don't go super into detail in them. They're gonna come up a lot more in the second book. As you can see, I like don't even have names for them yet. I did name her sister in the first book, but I can't remember what it is, so I need to go back to the first book to remember. But yeah, so this is her biological family that we're gonna go into. And then we have Celine Private Coleman. He has a picture. And Linda. And one other character I put in a picture. Oh, Brandon Simmons has a picture so far. So yeah, as you can see, I haven't filled out a lot of the information yet, but you can move these things around. Like this picture panel actually wasn't even in here. I added it, so if you want to add it, oh, I think I have a picture for Stanley too. Oh, not yet. Let's add one. I'll show you how you can add a picture in here. So you go to add panel, add image, and then you can drag it where you want to go. And I did save a picture for him because I knew exactly what I wanted. It's a stock image. It's so funny. So then you right click to set an image and it takes you to save things. And this is Stanley. He's like my favorite character in this book. Oh my god, I love him. And this picture sums him up so well. If any of my beta readers are watching this, let me know. Do you love this picture of Stanley? I think it is perfect. So yeah, this is what we have so far, setting up all of the characters. I'm probably not going to fill out all of the details for everybody, just the ones who are the most important. So, but then you can add personality traits, physical attributes, statistics, backstory, some other notes, and then you could add other panels if you want. You just watched me add an image panel. You could add text, statistics, lists, references, and links as well. So that's for characters, and then you can also add more groups and such like that. So if you wanted to add a new character, you hit add down here, and it pops up as new character, and then you go in here and you can write their name. Oops. And then if you wanted to, you could add a new group, and you'll see a new folder pop up, and you drag the new character to the new group. And we're just gonna delete that. So yeah, that's characters so far. And then I also kind of gave you a brief look at world. See, if you see, it's up here at the top bar is where you navigate. It took me a while to kind of figure that out. So you go to world, and I started making this. We're gonna have a lot more important locations in book 2, and there are even more locations in book 1. I just haven't added them yet. So we have Station 2, and I put this underneath Station 2 because this is on Station 2. So we have the Astronauts Grounded Retirement Center, Earth, Matilda Prep High School, and University of South Mars. So those are just some locations. You could add a new map if you wanted to like separate it by worlds. I guess I could have done that if I wanted to do like an Earth and a space map. I might end up doing that later, but all you have to do to add a location is hit add location down here, and then you can drag it or resize it however you would like. So now let's look at the other stuff we can work with. Now, I've done this, I've actually used Campfire to start plotting a different book, and I've used this before to like track the relationships between different characters. I don't think I'm gonna do it for this book. You can like color code it and everything, so basically just like, so you could like make a family tree, add a character, you put Lena down. It's nice because if you've already made your characters, you don't have to like type anything, these just come in. So Alara Anders is Lena's mother, so we could connect them. I don't think I'm gonna do this for this book just because there are so many characters and it's so complicated that it would just take way too much time, and I don't think it would be that helpful to me because I already kind of have their organization over here. The things I think we're mostly gonna look at for this is the timeline. This is where I'm going to plot the book. So basically you can add an event, you can add a divider, and basically just make a timeline. And you can also color code it if you would like. So I think we're going to use this mostly for plotting the book. I'll probably use the world to keep track of all of the different locations and obviously the characters. You can also track character arcs, which I think is kind of cool. So if I wanted to track Lena's arc, she doesn't appear in any events yet, but as you make that timeline, you can track their arc as well. And then if you have an encyclopedia, like if you have different words and stuff, this would actually be super helpful. I hadn't even thought of using this yet. There's some stuff, because it's a sci-fi book, that's not like everyday stuff. Like they have, this is what's confusing. I have 3 words that are very similar, but they're very different. So I'm thinking of even like including a glossary in the book for people. Because we have hollow chip, hollow card, and hollow screens. So those are definitely 3 things that I could put in here. And then if you have the world building pack, some options you have are species, cultures, languages, religions, philosophies, systems, magic, and items. I think the most important thing for me is going to be backstory and the world and things that have happened in the past, because that's like a really big thing in the book. So there you have it. That's what we have so far. I moved you over to this side because I thought that window might be annoying with the light. So I hate outlining. This is overwhelming for me. I think I'm gonna pull up my brainstorming sheet, that beat sheet, and I'm just gonna go into that world tab and start making the events that I know are gonna happen. I don't really know where they're gonna happen in the book or what order they're gonna happen, but that's kind of the beauty of this software, is you can like move them around and stuff. So I think I'm just gonna start making each individual event that I know is gonna happen, and hopefully as I do that, new things will start occurring to me and it will help, we'll be able to flesh out the story. Now obviously I'm trying to be as helpful as I can and show you this process as I go along, but I don't want to show you any of the plotting specific events, because not only is it going to spoil this book, but it would spoil the first book as well. But I'm excited. Now you know a little bit about Project Z. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know if it's going to be the title yet. As you can see, I haven't really filled out my character cards yet, so I might go in and add details. Finding pictures for them was fun. It was hard. Even the pictures I found aren't like perfect matches for a lot of them, but it kind of gives you an idea. So I think for this next section, you might just get a time lapse while I work on this. So I've been outlining some new chapters, and what I didn't realize was when you click into each little thing in the timeline, it pops up. I'll show you. I'll make a new one so you can't see what I wrote in the ones that I've done. So when you open a new one, this is what pops up, and you can write like a full description in here and then add all of this stuff. So I've outlined the first 3 chapters and actually wrote pretty extensive descriptions, like several paragraphs worth for each one, so I'm pretty solid on the first 3. I have a feeling this is going to be an ongoing process. I'm definitely not planning to get this all done today, but we're off to a good start. I feel better about it now. I've said this before, I'm more of a discovery writer than an outliner, and I tend to sort of outline as I go. So I wanted to get like a good foundation done, and I might even end up writing these first 3 chapters and then like outlining the next ones as I go, or jumping ahead and outlining the major plot points that I know are coming and then figuring out what happens in between later on. Because after chapter 3, I know what's gonna happen in chapter 4, but after that, the rest of it could go anyway. But I know like some random, I don't know what chapter number they'll be, but some random plot points that will happen later in the timeline. So I can add them on here and figure out where they go later. Anyway, I don't know when the natural end to this video would be, because I know I'm not going to finish this outline today, but I'm going to end the video now. I'll probably be outlining throughout the rest of the month of March. Definitely want to finish before April, obviously. I think I could probably finish, give myself 2 weeks. I think that's how long it took me to write the outline for the first book, or maybe it was like a week. I don't know, depends on how much time I have. But thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope this video was helpful. I would love to hear about your outlining process and how you approach it down below in the comments. I'll have all the information for Campfire linked down below if you want to try out the software. They also have a free trial version if you just want to try it out first and see if you like it. I would highly recommend it. I'm really enjoying outlining it this way. So make sure to go check them out in the description if you're interested. And other than that, if you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe and stick around. I put up at least 2 to 3 new videos every single week about writing and reading and stuff. I'd appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll just see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Bye.
So hit me. So hit me. So hit me. First a confession. With you I feel a connection. With